So this is me doing the Kirkcaldy run back to Burntisland in 25 minutes, which would be like a best for me so far. So here we go. Switch on the battery, switch on the computer. Oh, there it's there. Right, plenty battery, 3/4 left. Let's go. We're heading west from Kirkcaldy towards Burntisland. We start in an area known as Seafield, and this used to be a coal mine, Seafield Colliery, or Seafield Pit. Closed in the 80s, I think. And along here used to run they had a steam train, a J 36 locomotive that used to bring the coal wagons along so that they could be taken away on the main line. And this was the last steam train ever in official service in Scotland, because what happened was on the 1st of January 1967, notification went out that everybody was to stop using steam trains, but they never got the message here at Seafield, and they continued using it for about 4 months until British Rail got wind of it and made them scrap it. And then I think it was Thomas Muir that took it for scrap, and then it was used for parts. The braking system and I think the buffer beams were used to help restoration of a preserved locomotive, which is quite famous, called Maud. And for anybody that's interested, Maud lives at the Scottish Railway Preservation Society in Bo'ness, across the water. And as we're going along here, right, if you look on the left, you can see the rocks come out of the ocean at like a sort of 45 degree angle, and the coal seam at Seafield is also at that sort of angle. It was actually one of the world's steepest coal faces to be mined underground, and when it closed, a lot of the miners went away. They were experts because it was such a difficult place to mine coal, but it was a good quality coal, and a lot of them went away to work in places like Australia, South Africa, Canada, America. Some of the guys went on to do tunnel boring, like the Channel Tunnel and stuff like that. So that's us reached like the county limits. I consider this leaving Kirkcaldy altogether, and here, this is the difficult part of the path. This is like proper off-road stuff, and now I discover, is this city e-bike any good for off-roading? I would say it's not bad. It could be better, but it isn't bad at all. Partly due with the fitness of the rider. You know, being in my 50s, I'm not like the fastest, but the kids would laugh at this, so they'd be able to do it much quicker. But for me, I think this is not a bad attempt. I got a nice kind of clear run this time, and to get to Burntisland in just a little bit over 20 minutes, I think it's not bad at all. Come on, Grandad, get moving. So my cycling career began in 1975 when I asked Santa, could I get a rally chopper? But I think I made a spelling mistake, because what I got was a rally chipper, a little yellow chipper, a clown bike with a tiny little front wheel, and it was a really difficult thing to ride. It was a kind of Schwinn chopper, retro stylish thing, but yeah, it was really difficult to ride, but that was where it began for me. I wanted a chopper, I got a chipper. This is one of the trickiest sections of the lot, where you have to go down the steps here. And you've got to be careful along here, big drops to the left. So this is like the most dangerous part of the run, but it's also the most picturesque. And it's at this sort of section where the bikes met its match. I don't mind walking this section, it's actually really pretty here. So you haven't really got much choice at this section. You'd have to be crazy to want to cycle down here. You could catch your handlebars on the fence on the right, and it's, yeah, you don't want to be like crashing here. So here we go, the run into Kinghorn. So I think the bike does alright, considering that it's not really specifically designed as an off-road machine. I think it does okay, because I think you could get a better frame, make it a bit lighter, a bit more specialised, but I think as a general all-rounder it's shown that it is capable of doing this kind of cycling. I think once I get a couple more repairs done and a bit of servicing done and get my fitness levels up, I'll get quicker, but You also need to get a clear run, and that's what I got today. It was like, because it was late and because it wasn't such nice weather, I got a really good clear run. So this is us coming into Kinghorn now. An ancient town with loads of history, really interesting place. I went to school with a lot of people from Kinghorn when I went to Balweary. But yeah, where we're heading, Burnt Island, actually used to be called Wester Kinghorn. So here we go, Grandad, this is a climb all the way now. And so that's us just gone past the railway station, and we're now climbing up a wee bit higher than the railway line, and then at the top here we'll cross over where the Fife Circle goes through the tunnel. I think it's the longest tunnel on the Fife Circle line, and then we get onto like the designated cycle path to Burnt Island. So this is Petticoat Bay and the caravan park, the one that you could see on the BBC, Life on the Bay. This is us coming up past the Alexander Monument. This marks the spot where the last Celtic King of Scotland fell from his horse to his death. There's the monument there on the left. That's why this whole area is known as the Kingswood. Here we've got to be careful coming past like the driveway for the Gambles. That's a busy driveway, and we've got a couple of houses up here and the Kingswood entrance and exit, so you've got to be careful here. So that's us just heading into Burntisland now, coming past the graveyard on the right hand side, and we've got the railway line on the left hand side, and the cycle path. Either you turn right and go into the housing estate, or you cycle along the road for a short section until you get to the links. And here we go past the Mercedes Museum on the left. This is really where the bike's more at home, but it's doing my head in, that click from the derailleur. And so my next video is going to be a service of the bike to fix these little niggles. So here we are on the links, granted to the town by King James V. I checked the sign, it's definitely King James V. And Burntisland's also the place, when I say King James V, a lot of people would think of the Bible. And the James V Bible was actually proposed here in Burntisland at the church. And that was at a time when there was an outbreak of the plague in Edinburgh. So the assembly, i.e. the Scottish Parliament, was held here in Burntisland at that time. Anyway, that's enough history from my handlebars. Here we're approaching the port gate and the finish line. So it was Kirkcaldy to Burntisland in approximately 25 minutes, which is a record for me. I'm hoping I can get quicker. So yeah, thanks for watching, and in my next video I'm going to be doing some service and repairs. I've got new mineral Shimano style brake fluid, I've got a new derailleur, and I've got a new disc to fit, so that's going to be the next video. But thank you for watching.